What up, Dragon Ballers? This is going to be my episode review for Dragon Ball Daima episode number 16 called DEGESU. The tension is rising. The stakes are getting higher. We are approaching closer and closer towards the end game. With only 4 episodes left in the series, things are sure to get more dramatic, and it does for sure in this episode. We finally have groups of people meeting for the first time, and we end the episode on a shocking transformation. So if you guys have been enjoying all of the Daima episode review content on the channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be covering the rest of the series with just a few episodes left. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Without further ado, let's jump into episode number 16. So we open to a worn down battlefield with the crew standing among the rubble. The crew decide to rescue Dende first before finding the last Tamagami, getting the Dragon Ball, and returning to adult size. And in this moment, I like how Hybis is just sitting there playing with his new hat. Nobody knows what he did in the last episode, but that third eye is going to play a major role in this episode. As they stand in front of the drawbridge and the front gate, the Gendarmerie force show up and do their fancy intro sequence. Vegeta sternly walks towards them. As he comes face to face with one of the members, we are reminded just how tiny these guys are. The size difference is crazy. My God, the Gendarmerie force members look like kaijus in front of them. Hylia fires a blast at Vegeta, who immediately dodges it. And then, as he manipulates the blast to home back in on Vegeta, Vegeta once again teleports right in front of the dude's face and then vanishes, causing the blast to hit Hylia himself, knocking him out. Next, Daima fires his Gatling gun, but immediately Vegeta dodges and knocks him out in one punch. Then Mashim draws his knife and gun out, and he is then immediately taken out by Vegeta in one shot. Then Gaimui realizes that Vegeta just might be one of the guys who beat the Tamagamis. Then Kadem attacks, at which point Vegeta, you guessed it, easily counters. Immediately, Kadem begins generating a giant fireball, and as he's about to fire it, he burns his hand and flubs the attack. Mere seconds later, the entire Gendarmerie force is restrained, and they have been defeated. Pretty fitting way to end the Walmart Ginyu force. After that, Vegeta blasts open the gate and they go in, but not before Gaimui gives Goku a bag of chips. Just randomly. And Goku, of course, takes the chips. Meanwhile, Discount Toa is walking around in the hall of the castle, looking for DEGESU to give the third eye. While she's looking around, she sees a bunch of Gendarmerie guards frantically running around. No one is able to help her, so she continues searching. The crew reach another giant door and decide to split into 2 groups. Bulma and King Kadan's crew go one way, and Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Nahare, or Shin, head towards where Goma will likely be. Pansy decides at the last minute to join Goku and crew, followed by Hybis and Glorio, who then follow soon after. Meanwhile, DEGESU finds Dende and takes him away as the two start walking deeper into the castle. Goku senses Dende's key nearby and tries to catch up to DEGESU, while Pansy tries to catch up to Goku. DEGESU is seen in the hangar bay, apparently getting ready to board one of the planes with Dende, but Goku catches up and confronts him. At which point, DEGESU immediately holds a gun right to Dende's head, which got real dark real quick. It's at this point that DEGESU reveals he actually wants to be the king of the demon realm. So I'm guessing that the Discount Toa maneuver was being done so that DEGESU could get his hands on the third eye. Goma sees DEGESU through surveillance and realizes that DEGESU too might also have some sort of a plan. He starts to panic. Suddenly, Pansy manages to catch up to Goku and friends and notices the standoff. She tries to sneak attack DEGESU, but is unable to do so as the gun from DEGESU is now pointed at Pansy's head. Just then, a giant green squishy hat flies right at DEGESU's head, knocking him loose. Dende falls to the ground, but Pansy is able to catch her, and Piccolo immediately knocks DEGESU out. Turns out it was Glorio who caught up to the crew and used Hybis' hat as a distraction to knock DEGESU out. Goma sees this and celebrates DEGESU's downfall, but then immediately starts panicking over the fact that the situation has gone critical. Suddenly, Discount Toa appears with the third eye. Goma sees her and rushes towards her, taking the eye for himself. She asks, "Hey, what's my reward?" Goma says, "You could take whatever you want from inside the treasure room over there." Meanwhile, DEGESU, now restrained, is being walked outside the castle at gunpoint by some of Kadan's minions. The crews are all back together, and they decide it's better to first get the final Dragon Ball from Tamagami 1 and wish that they get returned back to adult size before taking on Goma. As they approach Tamagami 1, Pansy realizes there is no Dragon Ball embedded in Tamagami 1's armor. It is at that point that suddenly Arinsu steps forward along with Majin Du and Majin Ku. Glorio has a very nervous look on his face as he sees one of the Majins holding the final Dragon Ball. You know something's about to happen with that double agent maneuver. Meanwhile, Goma is using a spoon to try to pry the eye out of the belt. After being unable to do so, he very angrily goes to the bathroom. After using the bathroom, he realizes he could use the nearby plunger. He takes the plunger, sticks it on the belt, and he manages to pry the eyeball loose. He then sees Discount Toa walking away with a bunch of jewelry, but before she goes, he bribes her to place the third eye on his forehead. As soon as she does, Goma begins transforming. He gets huge and muscular, turning into a giant Jiren-sized monster, and the episode ends with a close-up of his new face. Kind of. So naturally, as the episode ends, the first question comes to mind. How powerful is Goma now? I don't know if we're going to find out in the next episode, because I was watching... This is the first time that I was actually very much eager to watch the episode preview for the next one, and we don't see any Goma, but we do see some terraforming apparently taking place in the castle. It could be Goma's new magic, where he's trying to create home court advantage, or perhaps he's just busy doing that while Arinsu's crew and Goku's crew are fighting each other in the next episode. We do see Majin Du and Majin Ku attacking Goku and the others, and they look pretty intense. Considering Vegeta, Goku, and Majin Du, whichever one is the chubby one, were able to stop a Tamagami, how much power is it going to take for one side to beat the other? Will Goku Vegeta have to fuse to beat these guys, or is that going to be something that they only use against Goma? Will they have to go Super Saiyan 3 to beat Majin Du and Majin Ku? I'm assuming probably yes. How involved will Arinsu be in this confrontation? Because just like in this last episode, there was a minor exchange between Shin and DEGESU. He wanted to be the king of the demon world. He also mentioned that Glins like to seek higher ranks. With Arinsu wanting to do the exact same thing, is there going to be a similar sort of confrontation, or perhaps things will get more intense and these two begin fighting? I would not be surprised if that happens. I honestly want to see Arinsu in combat. I actually want to see Arinsu with the third eye, but I don't think that's going to happen. So all I care about at this point is seeing the bad guys pull out their stops. Nothing else matters. We know what Goku and friends can do. The only thing that they have left in their pocket that everybody wants to see is the fusion. That's not going to happen until probably the final episode or the last resort. And I hope that it is an epic one. I want to see Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegito. If we don't get that, we riot. Am I right, folks? Am I right? Anyway, that is it. Those are my thoughts on this episode. Honestly, no references, no Easter eggs that I could notice. I was just so set on witnessing the end of the series because it's getting so good that I just want more. So I cannot wait for next week to come around so that we can check out episode number 17, the battle between Arinsu's forces and Goku's forces. It's going to be a good one. Guys, let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed, and let me know what your favorite part of the episode was in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Stay tuned, and always remember to Daima responsibly.